Welcome to Hoops Zooted, the show that combines your two favorite things, weed and basketball. Pack 'em all and grab a seat as Evan rambles on about this team he's loved for the past 40 plus years.
My mom only cares when I'm on TV. My dad only cares that I make money. I just smoke trees every day and night. I don't give a fuck if I'm doing it right.
Welcome to episode 24 of Hoops Zooted. I'm your host, Evan Moore, and this week's episode I have titled, This Team Has Cartoon Amnesia, because it's still up and down, and it's kind of like, maybe some of the younger kids don't quite get this reference here, but when I was growing up, there was a trope, throughout cartoons and even through, sitcoms and stuff through the 70s and 80s of amnesia being induced by getting knocked in the head, and then, the amnesia going away by getting knocked in the head a second time. And that's kind of like what it feels like what's been going on with the Lakers here this week. There's 3 games since the last time I've talked to you, and we got win, loss, win. So, like I said, just feels like some cartoon amnesia. So, in honor of that, this week, that's the strain I have is actually Amnesia K Lemon. So that's the theme for this week is cartoon amnesia. So before I get into it, I guess we'll play a little bit of music here, and let me take a couple hits here. There we go. Much better. Now we can kind of dive in here. So yeah, 3 games since the last time I talked to you guys. Had a win over the Thunder, 116-104. Really good game. That makes us 3-0 against the Thunder this season, which is, that's awesome. Like, that team does not scare me. Like, if we can somehow, people try and talk about like strategically placing yourself like wherever you want, but like that's pretty hard to do, I think, so like, but if we can luckily somehow, end up facing off against the Thunder in the first round, I like our chances. I really like our chances. And Austin really had stepped up his defense in that game, really looked great in that game. And he's been improving. He's not going to get carried away. He's not still not great on defense. Still got a lot to be desired. But you gotta give credit where credit's due. He's obviously been working his ass off, and he did great in that Thunder game. And they really put some clamps on Shaw, which Hey, that's not an easy task, man. Not an easy task at all. So yeah, give him some credit for that. So that was a nice win to start things. But then we get the middle of the week, hump day, and the Kings, who are still just a thorn in our side, and De'Aaron Fox in particular. And of course, we lost that game 130 to 120. And that game was super frustrating because they came out in that first quarter and looked dominant and looked like they were going to run away with this game. They were up by 19 points in that first quarter. And second quarter came, AD comes out, and everything just fell apart. And, Darvin, has tried to blame the refs. Or, I'm sorry, not blame the refs, but blame the players for complaining about the refs, calling. He had a quote. Basically, let's see if I can remember exactly what he said. It was, that something about, complaining makes cowards of us all or something like that. And, oh, man, just, there were a lot of issues with that game. Yes, the complaining with the refs was definitely one of the issues. I'm not going to deny that. But, Darvin, when are you going to take some goddamn accountability? You played a part in that loss too. When they went small, we didn't take advantage of our size, and that's been a problem all year long, where you don't take advantage of the size that we have. We've got all this size and this length, but you have this obsession with these 3-guard lineups. Now, thankfully, our guards are taller this year, but it's still take advantage of the mismatches and the advantages you have. Would make this team so much better. But it is what it is, Darvin. So anyway, frustrating loss to the Kings. And, AD has still got some sort of curse going on here with Sabonis. Sabonis has got, a lock of his hair or something. And I don't know, it's crazy. I've never, as good as AD has been and as great as the season he's had, I just don't understand why, Sabonis, who he doesn't seem to do this to other great centers, but he seems to really have AD's number, and it's been kind of frustrating. But it's also, I think a lot of that also, we do have to give Darvin some of the blame in that, because a lot of the defensive schemes that we're playing, are not really smart. And, AD has to spend so much time kind of compensating for, a lot of the times that we're, leaving Fox, one-on-one, so he can just cook anybody and get to the bucket. And it just messes up a whole lot of shit. So, that whole series with them, and now we're 0-3 against them for the season. It's just all around frustrating, and we got to play them again next week. So yeah, hopefully we can at least get one win this season. Can't let them sweep us. That will be awful. But then, thankfully tonight, LeBron unfortunately had to go out, because at the end of the Kings game, he was limping off, and I'm sure that ankle tendonitis was bugging him the way he was kind of limping there. So I had a feeling he was going to sit tonight, and he did sit tonight. But we had a incredible gutty last second win 123 to 122 over the Bucks tonight, and great game. D'Lo put on a freaking masterclass tonight, and then had the final shot with left like 5.9 seconds on the clock, and Bucks went to make their play to bring it in. Spencer Dinwiddie gets the block to seal the game, and we win it 123 to 122. So just nice way to cap it off for the week, and at least we go 2-1 for the week. Make up for a little bit of that disappointing loss on Wednesday. So yeah, good way to start the weekend, thankfully. And but like again, it's this is why I've got this theme of the cartoon Amnesia, because it's like we were good on Monday, got hit on the head with a rock, forgot who we are, somewhere in the second quarter of that game on Wednesday, and then got hit on the head again somewhere on Friday, and got back together to get another win. So hopefully this doesn't continue, because all these blows to the head can't be good. But anyway, all in all, decent week. Really frustrating, because it really feels like we should have been able to go 3-0 this week. Just that Kings game, that one's going to sting for a while, and a lot of people going into that game were calling it a must win. And I was kind of brushing it off, like, it's not necessarily a must win, because I had kind of a bad feeling about it, but I did wake up that morning feeling like, like I think we're gonna do it, but like second quarter just all unraveled everything on us. But anyway, like I said, it is what it is. We move. I believe that's should be 17 games left to go. So, definitely down to crunch time. But it is also looking like, probably, 7 to 9 is going to be our fate. So it'd be great if we could get up to 6, just so we can avoid the play-in and, the whole single elimination stuff. But I think we're going to have to just, we're going to have to deal with the fact that I think we're going to end up, somewhere between 7 and 9, most likely. Just because I just don't see us, unless we can somehow, go on a run and win all 17 of these final games, which Darvin coaching, that's a tall task. But, it is what it is. There's still plenty of basketball to be played. We still haven't, the fat lady has not sung. This is not over yet. The torture has not stopped. However you want to put it. So, anyway, we move. And, that moves me on to, first topic of tonight. And that's the Kings just still have our freaking number here. 0-3 this season. We seem to have no answer for De'Aaron Fox or Monk. And, I do understand that, like, athletically, we don't really have anyone who can match up with him, but it feels like scheme-wise, we should be able to do something to kind of mitigate this a little bit, and it's really frustrating that we continue to, let a player do this to us over and over. And it is also frustrating, because I also feel like, I think that he's, bitter that we drafted Lonzo instead of him too. So he wants to make us pay every time too. So anyway, yeah, and hey, I would have loved to have him. That would have been a great pick. But it is what it is. Lonzo also got us AD, so we live with it. But man, like watching De'Aaron cook us every time we play Sacramento is it's been frustrating. And also Malik, who we had to let go. And like, I understand a lot of people, complaining about like, yeah, we didn't re-sign him, but there are, real, salary cap reasons why we weren't able to re-sign him. He got paid more, and you can't blame a guy for, wanting to go where he's going to get paid more. And it'd been great if we could have kept him, but that's the game. That's the NBA for you. And it's also frustrating. Here's another issue with Ham is that like, Max has been really good at like matching up with Monk. He's not like completely locking him down, but he's at least slowing him down a little bit. And we weren't even getting enough of that, so yeah. And it seems like, if we could also, maybe be a little bit, more flexible and bring Max in to, help guard Fox, maybe we could mitigate some of that as well. But anyway, like I said, the Kings just have our number. And, hopefully we don't go 0-4 this season. And I'll never understand this whole thing with Sabonis and AD. Like I said, it feels like some sort of curse. Like he's cast some sort of spell, and I shouldn't be, too hurt. Sabonis is a really good player, but it's just frustrating. As great as AD has been this season, it's just really frustrating to, see him kind of hit a wall with this guy a little bit. But it's still at the end of the day, like, I'm just going to keep harping, on Darvin. And Darvin, he just refuses to use, the length and the height of this team. And I think that's one of the things that's really, really still hurting us and holding us back, as well as just, his insistence on sticking with these smaller guards. And like, I mean, it worked out tonight, but like he started Spencer Dinwiddie tonight against the Bucks. Like when I saw that first night, like, are you kidding me? Like, it worked out. Like I really like Spencer. I mean, great pickup, but like, what are we doing? Spencer, Austin, and D'Lo all in the starting lineup, with Braun out. It just, it's baffling. It's absolutely baffling sometimes. So, yeah, and just this is, and I do understand matchups are a big part of it. That's the Kings are a bad matchup for us. And they have been for a little while here. It's just, they're young, athletic, and give us a really hard time with, with the way we play and the way, and we don't have the 3-point shooting a lot of times to keep up with them and their pace and everything. So yeah, they're a tough matchup. Just like the Thunder are a good matchup for us, like that, we're the tough matchup for them. Like it's, the NBA is like that, like, and like why Denver, we can't get past them there because they're our toughest matchup, and that's, a lot of times what it can come down to, and like who advances and is who matches up against who. So, we'll have to see how this shapes out with all this seeding, because there's still, close seeding between a lot of teams and quite a few games to play. So anyway, let me take another hit before I move on to my next topic here. I think I've rambled on enough about the fucking Kings. That goddamn cow town, as Phil Jackson once said. I don't think he said goddamn, but anyway, let me take a hit here real quick. But that does move me on to my next topic. And man, this one really kind of ticks me off a little bit. Like the fans just really started trashing AD after that Kings performance. And I was disappointed. Like I understand, like there's no, here's the thing for me, like there's nothing wrong with criticizing his game, nothing wrong with saying he played a bad game, but to throw out like everything else he's done this season, and that's what a lot of people I saw doing, like, oh, this is terrible, like this is proof that he's not going to be shit for us, and like we can't win with him, and like we can't win without Braun once Braun leaves with him, like it just freaking ridiculous hyperbole, and just everybody needs to relax. AD has had one of the best seasons of his career this year. If we were in better position, if we were in one of those top 3 spots, he should be considered for MVP and Depoy. But we're not. And defensive player of the year is also like probably a stretch just because where we are in the standings. But he's playing good enough that he should be considered, and I'm sure he will get votes for both. So take a deep breath. I understand, it is frustrating, and I agree. Like I don't understand why he has these tough games against Sabonis, but it's also basketball. Even the best, most consistent players are going to have a rough game every now and then. Like, so, and then the other thing that frustrates me with a lot of this is that some of these agendas seem obvious. Like it seems like there are just some people who have been waiting for this chance of, oh, okay, AD's screwing up again, so it's time to jump down his throat and blame him for everything. And it's so old and tired and frustrating. And this guy is the anchor of our defense. He is arguably been the best player on the team this year. It's close, it's really close. LeBron has had some great games as well, and like you can make a very good argument that he is still number 1 as well. But like I said, it's damn freaking close, because AD has been pretty phenomenal this year. So because there's a whole section of Braun fans that don't like AD, think that he's not a good partner for Braun, and I think a lot of them were just waiting for this moment, as well as there's a section of people that just hate AD just because of his injury history and think that he's fragile. And so between the two of them, I believe that it was just this deluge, at least on my timeline, of oh, this is the end of the world. AD, we can't win with AD just because of this one shitty game against the Kings. And I understand it's frustrating. I was pretty pissed off too, but sometimes we need to take a deep breath and just pull back a little bit because it's not that big of a deal. It is what it is. It's frustrating, but we move. You know, hopefully he can, you know, bounce back and maybe figure it out here in the next game. He's got just one more game in between before that, next matchup against the Kings. So, and the other thing is too, it's all this blaming like one player for things. It's really tiring, like this is a team sport, and I understand that, like, it's easy to get carried away with a lot of these narratives of like, this guy, is the scapegoat, or this guy is the single reason that a team won. And, it's easy to kind of paint those pictures, but like if you watch entire games, it's never one player's fault, So yeah, I think we need to just chill. AD was great tonight, so he's going to bounce back. He's going to keep playing great and keep playing hurt too. Like, he took a shot tonight to the right here to the collarbone and kept playing. Like, looked like his left arm was just kind of hanging, like just dangling, useless, almost like, those of us that are old enough to remember, like Emmitt Smith years ago playing with a separated shoulder, against the Giants in final regular season of the game, or final regular season game of the season. So yeah, like, hats off to AD. The dude's a freaking warrior, man. Like, he's been playing so hurt this year, and yeah, like, I'm just sick of the people that just want to do nothing but shit on him. Like, he's the future of this team, and like, if you don't like it, yeah, go be a Clippers fan. That's anyway. I think I need to take a drink and take a couple more hits here. So let me play a little music before I go on to my next topic, because my next topic is also something that it's gonna annoy me a little bit to talk about again, because it's probably may even annoy you a little bit, because it's the same old shit with our buddy Darvin. So let me chill for a second and play some music, and I'll be right back. There we go. So Darvin. He's still here. Still driving us crazy. Ugh. Now I realize, a bunch of you, I'm sure you've seen me, tag Jeannie a few times, like begging her to fire him. And like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, I realize that that's not gonna move the needle. That's not, she's not gonna listen to me. You know, that's what I'm doing is it's performance art. Let's be real. You know, but it's also but it's also really truly how I feel. Like, it's watching this man coach has been painful. You know, and I've seen a lot of bad coaches in these 40 years. Like Luke Walton was pretty damn bad. Byron Scott was pretty damn bad. Um, Gosh, yeah, Mike Brown. I give Mike Brown some credit. I don't think Mike Brown was terrible. I think he just didn't get a great situation. But anyway, Darvin is the worst. And this, I don't feel this is recency bias because he is consistently the worst. Like, the other coaches, like, I would see them make mistakes, but I would see them at least correct them and then maybe make different mistakes. Whereas, like, I see Darvin continue to make the same mistakes over and over. And that's what's disheartening to me, is that, like, and I should also, like, kind of rephrase that a little bit better. It's not that he's doing it over and over again, because, like, he'll correct a little bit, he'll correct course a little bit, and kind of things will get a little better for a little while, but then it's like he lets go of the reins and it falls away again. So you know and like I said, I realized he's not going anywhere till at least the off season. But that being said, I'm still going to complain, even if he's still here in the playoffs. I mean, maybe even in the playoffs, just like, just fire him now, replace him with Phil Handy, because to me, he's still the biggest handicap. I believe in these players. I just don't believe in him. And, you know, I'll just keep saying this till I'm blue in the face, but, like, we win despite of him, not because of him. And, I already brought it up early. Like, he started Dinwiddie against the Bucks. Now, I mean, thankfully it worked. Thankfully, Dinwiddie, what a godsend he's been. Like, really appreciate him. But man, like, this 3-guard lineup stuff, like, it's especially not going to cut it in the playoffs. So, and maybe, Darvin was better, far better in the playoffs last year. Like, it seemed like he was a different coach, and, like, I'm hoping maybe there's something, like, and here I am kind of probably grasping at straws here and probably sounding ridiculous here, but, like, maybe there's a small, minute chance that Darvin is just better equipped to coach in the playoffs because he understands that style a little bit better. Just his brain kind of understands that hard-nosed style a little bit better. But, maybe I'm reaching. Maybe I'm reaching hard, but, like, yeah, like, I just don't have the greatest of faith in him. And, like, I feel like, why can't we give Phil Handy a chance? Like, the guys just really seem to, respect him. And, like, they're always, like, talking to him on the bench. I see them talking to Handy more than they're talking to Ham. And that's the other reason that I'm pushing for Phil to be the interim if they fire Ham, because I think he's the perfect choice. So anyway, it is what it is. Darvin is still here. We're stuck with him, but I'm going to keep bitching. I'm going to keep bitching and moaning. Keep doing my performance art. Keep tagging Jeannie. Because yeah, man, like if we do, because I even feel like, if we do somehow, miraculously win this year, like I still feel like his job should be on the line. But, anyway, because but we'll see, because that complicates everything. That complicates everything. But I'm certainly not rooting for us to lose just so we can fire Darvin, because I do still want us to win in every game. I'm still going to watch every game that we play, but I'm not. I've told you here for a few weeks now, I have given up expectations, because it's, yeah, if we lose, let it go. It is what it is. But 17 games, we still got a shot. And, we proved last year that seeding doesn't matter as much. But we've also proven this year that Denver is still a hump that we can't quite get over. So it is what it is. But maybe we don't face Denver. Maybe we luck out and dodge Denver and somehow get into the finals. But, we'll wait and see. So anyway, that brings me down to here, my last topic here. And that's D'Lo and the masterclass that he put on tonight against Milwaukee. And I just want to give him a lot of props. It's been great to see him really just fit in with this team so well here. This, especially post-trade deadline, now that he realized that he's safe, and at least for this season. And man, tonight, 44 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. And he also had a block too, I believe. So, and 21 of those points he scored in the fourth quarter. So just spectacular. I mean, absolute masterclass by D'Lo. And like I said, he also had the game-winning shot too. And after the game, do you know who tweeted about him? DeJounte Murray tagged him and tweeted to him. So the guy everybody wanted us to trade for him. So, I'm glad we kept D'Lo. I'm glad we kept D'Lo. And, DeJounte, wish you luck, and thanks for shouting out our guy tonight, man. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, I'm super glad we kept D'Lo, and that was a great, good, funny moment. So yeah, because D'Lo really is just a perfect fit. When he is playing right, he is a perfect fit on this team. He knows how to get AD the ball. He plays so well with Braun. He and Austin get along so well. He is just meant and made for this team. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's one I'm going to have to go back and watch again, because that was an absolute masterclass by D'Lo. And that was a good game tonight. Really good game. It's close for pretty much most of the game, and got a little scary there at the end, where Milwaukee went up by about 6, and got really really nail biting there at the end of those final minutes. But we pulled it off, And, 2-1 this week. And thank you, D'Lo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolute masterclass tonight. That was freaking beautiful. So anyway, I guess that means only one thing.
It's time for historical story circle. Gas or
Yes, it is time. Time again for Historical Stoner Circle. So, in honor of my theme tonight of, cartoon amnesia, I decided I'd like to go with a couple of actual known stoners, because they actually got busted. At least two of them I know did get busted for weed. So I do know that they are stoners. And they did a couple of, cartoon amnesia, episodes on their show, Gilligan's Island. So Gilligan, Marianne, and Ginger, I'd like to have a historical stoner circle with those three. I think that would be a lot of fun, because, like I said, I know Gilligan and Marianne are stoners because they've gotten busted before. I believe it was Gilligan was sending Marianne a package, and they both got arrested. So that would be fun to sit around with the three of them and talk about that show, because I watched that show a lot as a kid. That silly show. And yeah, there was I believe more than one cartoon amnesia episodes where clock them on the head and, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know who I am. Clock them on the head again. Oh, hey everybody, I'm back. What happened? So anyway, that's about it for me this week. We got 3 games this, next week. I'll probably record next week. I'll probably record on Saturday, just because, that third game is a Saturday game. So I'll just do it after that. But anyway, until then, I hope you all stay zooted and have a great one. Peace out.
In the history of mankind, men have been called out and written up millions of times over, but only one man was written up for, and I quote, making barnyard noises and wouldn't stop. Rest in power, my friend. Washiko.